What's the other one? Rehabilitation. There you go.
It was double standards. Trust and double standards is what's going to be our topic for today. And I just want to start us off by saying I think there's a huge disconnect between genders right now. And before I get tagged by anybody and everybody that there are more than two genders, I'm just gonna say genders. And if I'm referring to boy, I'm just gonna say boy. And if I'm referring to girl, I'm just gonna say girl. Forgive my ignorance. I don't know all the fucking flags, and I certainly don't know.
I couldn't care.
Okay, no one's asking you, but I don't know any of the other genders aside from boy and girl. This is purely for the fact of me not offending anybody. But anywho, I think it's fair game to say we've all been on TikTok. It's fair game to say we've all been on, well, not all of us have been on Twitter, but any social media ever. And the first thing I notice when I go on TikTok is that it's basically legalized child softcore. And the reason I say that is because a lot of these people on TikTok, I'm not going to say they're underage, and I don't want to assume it, but if you look at a lot of their bios, it will say that some of them are under the age of 18. And I know that a lot of them, when they use these revealing, we'll just say revealing factors or revealing clothing, a lot of them will argue for the sake of confidence and that they're doing it for themselves. But at the same time, I don't think they're doing it for themselves. I don't think anything of what they're doing is, I guess, essential to being confident. If they want to feel themselves up, that's perfectly fine. But when you're recording a video of you in suggestive clothing and then you post it online, it's clearly for the attention of others. I mean, if you didn't get any views, I highly doubt you'd still be posting it.
Wait, did we start?
Yeah, we started.
Okay.
No, I was just talking out of nowhere, yeah.
I don't know, you were saying like before we start.
Well, we've started now. Anyways.
Okay, well, let's introduce our guest speaker.
Wait, we're actually having the guest speaker?
Oh, I forgot about that. I didn't even do the introductions. Yes, like 10 minutes into the podcast, everyone. I'm Edward, this is David, and Macy. We're back with the Club Med podcast.
Hello.
We have a guest speaker today, Pringle, who happens to be one of the biggest minorities in our groups.
There we go.
I really thought you were not going to answer Pringle. Like, no cap.
He was thinking about it. Anywho, did you hear anything I said, Pringle?
No, I did. I agree with you.
No, obviously... All right, now that there's more I need to say, but before we continue, does anyone want to make any thoughts about what I just said?
It's not it is the responsibility of the viewer to not sexualize the viewee, obviously.
So you're saying it's the viewer's fault?
Yes.
It's the viewer's fault that these underage girls are wearing suggestive clothing.
It's the viewer's fault for finding it suggestive. If they're underage, nothing they do should be a trigger for sexual thoughts. That's illegal.
But does that not come down to like what's
What
the
do you
point?
mean illegal?
What is
You're both right and you're wrong.
I will say this, right? How can you say that thoughts shouldn't pop up if the clothes are meant to be of that they're showing off parts of women that men find attractive?
Well, you shouldn't find it attractive if they're underage.
But here's the thing, like I said before, it's in their bio. The first thing you see when you go into any social media is the post itself. No one really knows.
Never find it sexually attractive until you know for sure.
So you're telling me I shouldn't be sexually attracted to a female?
Only if you know she's of age, and only if she's me.
Well, obviously the latter. But we started dating when you were 17, and I just turned 18.
You were also 17.
Oh.
I just turned 18
Barely.
though, so I was technically. We're not gonna say that on camera. But you are, because you dated me while I was underage. Anywho, as I was saying, I don't think it's the viewee's fault, because if we're going off the viewee, we're just gonna stray off this a bit, right? The whole gender war that's happening, as well,
Gender war.
there being a double standard, is men find them.
Viewer.
Huh?
Viewer.
Viewee. You said viewee, so shut up.
Viewee is the person being viewed.
Idiot.
Holy get fucked. Anywho, as I was saying, as I was saying, no, you're completely right. I need you to restate what you said though, because I completely forgot.
I did too.
Holy fuck.
I was just being a fucking shithead.
Welcome back to that podcast.
Welcome back to that. Where is she starting now? All right. Anyway, Dan, is there anything that you want to say?
You're both right and you're both wrong.
Elaborate.
Do anything other than say.
Macy was suggesting that it's the viewer's fault.
Viewee,
They're
this is a
sexualizing
viewee, though.
the viewee, which is true, but it's also not true. The viewee should know the perspective and the part that they're playing in the whole subject. They're posting themselves in elaborate clothing. Sure, it could be to make themselves look better,
Elaborate.
for their own.
I think it's the opposite of elaborate, David.
Yeah. Anyhow,
It's not.
continue.
I'm talking.
Yeah, everyone shut up. Who's talking?
Anyway, she should know, or he, that.
Okay.
Oh,
So it.
don't do that. Don't do that.
That reminds me, the only other gender I know is attack helicopter. If anyone says I'm wrong, then you're just going against what I believe, and honestly, you shouldn't.
David, continue, please. Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, David, you're in here?
Anyway, so Macy's right and wrong. I forgot what Edward said completely, but
Get fucked. Get fucked. Man's like, you're right and wrong, both of you. Yeah, I forgot what Edward said.
you both have good cases, but you both.
Well, David, you're not. Listen. You're not a mediator, okay? You're giving your opinion, my guy, and you believe that.
If I give my opinion, your channel's going down the drain.
Dave, my channel's already down the drain. Give your opinion. That's the whole point of this. You're not a mediator. You're not someone to say, oh, they're right, they're wrong. Like, no one cares who's right and wrong. It's simply opinion.
Let's get the bullet out of the way. First of all, the other two genders, anyone that disagrees can submit it. Second of all,
I'd really rather not.
that's a bold statement, David. And I'm a bold person. Anyway,
There won't be much to suck on anyways.
there we go.
Don't.
I have seen these minors on TikTok that do these dances with like crop tops that are like revealing and wearing no bra and such other things.
So you're admitting.
I was just about to say that. Never said I saved it. Never said anything else. I just said I've seen because of my my For You page. Anyway.
Oh, that's another thing that begs to differ from it's the viewer's fault, because obviously if they're underage, it's the viewer's fault for sexualizing them, but yet they continue to post in clothing that is suggestive, like over and over and over, and sometimes they even go like almost clothesless. Like, it's crazy. They'll just turn around and take off not take off all their clothing, but take off.
I don't know what videos do you have on your story page, bro. Like, Jesus.
I mean, I'd be scrolling on TikTok on my For You page for God knows how long. I'll be bored one night.
My For You page is just like animals and science.
Well, you're lucky. You're lucky. TikTok knows I'm a boy. They recommend it to every guy, let's be honest.
I'm gonna need some verification from the other two men in this.
David just admitted to Pringle, on the other hand, you know. Are you even here, Pringle?
Oh no, I'm here. I'm definitely here. And also a friend of Pringle and mine, he sent me a video saying like, how old is she? I'm like, oh, she's probably like underage. And he's like, you guessed it right, because why would he send me something and asking me the age of the person if she's not underage? Because she looked over 18, and she wasn't, and she was wearing the crop top and everything. Like, weird.
Wearing the or wearing a crop top?
Wearing the.
Oh, there's one that gets you off, doesn't it?
No, the one that I was mentioning earlier. And I don't know. Everyone has the right to their own thing. If they're socially accepted or not, it's a different thing.
Socially accepted? Well, I guess, what's it called? I've seen videos where people say that women just post stuff like that so that they get the attention from others and the approval they need.
That is also true.
Because they want
There are
to.
some girls that don't do it that way.
Well, no, they want to admit to it, but the girls that do it that way, obviously, you can tell that they are. And to the people that don't, I don't know why they get shamed for it. It's tragic. And that's another thing that I want to bring up, sort of the whole double standard of it between genders is, I think it's kind of ironic how women will bash other women for looking unrealistic. Let's just say, in terms of cartoon, there was a cartoon post that showed that women saw anime characters as unrealistic and something that's unachievable. But yet, when a man looks at an anime character of another guy who's completely shredded and ripped, the only thing they think about is, damn, I need to go to the gym so I can hit that bot.
100%.
And I just think it's kind of ironic how the women that are bringing down other women don't get blamed. Instead, the other entire gender, not to say that there's two, but the other entire gender, aside from female, which is male, is the one to blame, like to be blamed for. And I think that's completely hypocritical and almost psychotic. Yeah. Now, is there anything you guys want to say about that?
Female power. Woo. Now let's talk shit about other girls.
So people said, what's it called? It's a lot of women nowadays have been saying that they don't claim. It's kind of like the boys now, how they say they don't claim these men, and like simp and shit like that's getting tossed around in cells and stuff like that. But when they say they don't claim it, they usually just say they're having a woman moment. Like there was one that I mentioned earlier, Macy, where I saw it where they said a man asked a woman in divorce if they are allowed to have half of their equity, right, after the divorce happens.
Yeah.
But yet the man asked the woman if he's allowed to have $500 million. And she said, what? No, I worked hard for that. And he looked at the camera like, wow. So you expect that the money that you work for only to be spent on you, but the money I work for is to be spent on everybody. And
I don't
she
think
agreed.
that's exactly a good example, though. I think that's cherry picking because, like, that's just one person who's just being selfish because obviously she's going through a divorce.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing, right? Is that you may say it's cherry picking, but the likes on that video are what support that other people support that.
Okay, but you're just looking at TikTok.
No, that's not just TikTok. I'm just saying I saw a video on TikTok.
Oh, where was that video?
Yeah, on TikTok. But I can just go on Twitter and find someone who says kill all men and stuff like that. It's not cherry picking.
I'm just saying the audience on TikTok is a very, obviously like a lot of girls go on TikTok, but the audience that kind of sees that stuff, so it might have like a 98% like rate because the people who see it are the people who are like kill all men, feminazis.
I mean, I don't say that most people that see it, and I don't think a high percentage of people on TikTok are females. I think it's more majority of male because they know that stuff like females in their, not thongs, but in their fucking booty shorts are being posted on YouTube and doing dances. So I guess I don't know the statistics.
Saying that most of the majority of the content on TikTok is made by women. You think the majority of people on TikTok are men?
I think, what's it called? I'm not saying there's like a 60-40 difference, but more so like a 48-52 difference. That it's not significant enough to say that, like the entire majority of TikTok is men. I'm just saying I think there are more men than female that go on TikTok.
Gender. I don't know where to. TikTok. TikTok leggings is the first thing that comes up.
For what?
On Google, I type in TikTok.
Okay, well, that doesn't, the statistic itself, I'm not going to search it up simply because I just want to keep all this opinionated anyways. Okay, well, you can search it up. Anywho, David, is there anything you want to add to it? Before we completely go off the track.
As of June 2020, female users accounted for 58.8% of TikTok's active user accounts.
Okay, so women account for more then. So more women agree with their opinion that they should have their own money after a divorce.
That's not what that means at all.
Considering how many likes was on that video and there's more women agree with her. Yeah, that's exactly what that means.
Okay, so if you found a video saying the opposite, how many likes would it have?
Probably not a lot, because stuff like that doesn't get suggested to people a lot.
That's a lie, because New York TikTok is literally like all conservative, those kinds of things, and they always have a ton of likes.
How is that conservative though? A woman believe, like, not okay. This not a woman believing, but a woman knowing that she doesn't have to give up money after divorce, but a man has to. How is that conservative?
Not that in particular is conservative. I mean, like, your TikTok is populated with a lot of videos being like the one you showed me this morning that was like BLM versus the Trump riot.
But that wasn't conservative. That was completely independent.
Okay, so independent, not conservative. Clearly, those videos also have a place in TikTok, and they also receive a massive amount of likes.
Well, massive amount, not like millions. If you go on TikTok, you're gonna find most of the likes, millions of likes, are of girls dancing and shaking their ass, and you're gonna find political videos only having hundreds of thousands.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
No. I don't think we're understanding each other's points, so let's just move on.
Anywho, I'm sticking by what I said.
And I'm sticking by not that.
Okay, well, I still think there's a clear defined line, double standard between both genders. And I think...
I'm sure there is, yeah.
Well, I'm not saying there isn't. There always has been. But I'm saying, what's it called? Fuck. Now I completely forgot what I was saying. You had me going around the fucking loop. Anyways, David, is there anything that you wanted to say? Or Pringle, our guest that decided to come on today?
So much rapping, I guess, when no one let him speak.
No, I mean, he didn't bother to fucking even try.
Yeah, like,
I've been trying to think this whole time, but like you guys have
Okay, then go ahead. I have to think
I mean,
about.
you guys have been just going at it, so you kind of just like, you know, do your thing.
I have to think about what I said because I completely forgot.
Me too.
I'm just gonna be quiet. I'm tired of the whole words.
Are you even here, David?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, now what do you have to say about it?
What'd you guys say?
Well, just from the initial claim of the double standard between men and women.
Let's see. How to put this in terms.
Oh, and I forgot. Yeah, there's a gender war going on now. Like it's really bad.
Gender war, because I asked about that.
The double standard kill men, and then or vice versa. Well, I guess men don't say kill all women, do they?
You know what I believe, so it's whatever.
What do you believe?
What do you believe?
No, you have to tell us. What do you believe, David?
You know, the viewers know what I believe. Holy shit.
Everyone's talking about gender war and everything, but you know, I just think
He hits women. I forgot.
humanity has a whole.
Oh no! Wow, that's another double standard you can take on, David. The fact that men are now okay with hitting women. That's not something that used to be around. What do you have to say about that one?
Yeah, it was. It was
Being
even
a-
worse back then. What are you talking about?
No. I'm saying socially accepted now. It was not.
Back then.
No, the fuck it wasn't.
was.
No, it was not. It was not so. You did not see children.
In the 90s, men would beat women, and people would be fine with it. Now that's when people are protesting. And
Men would be fun. Men would not be fine with that back then. We're not talking about that far back then.
how far are we talking?
I'm talking about when I was still a kid and my parents were telling me not to hit women. Kids.
It's polite not to tell your child. Like,
Okay, but I'm not talking about the older. Listen, I'm not talking about the older generation.
thing.
No one cares about the older generation before us. Let's be honest. No, the fuck you don't, David.
Okay.
I'm talking about societal issues that our generation has to face now, and our generation deems it okay to hit women.
it's okay to hit anyone if they do you wrong. That's just how it is.
If they do you wrong, I'm dead.
The fist of justice.
Maybe
I mean, but that wouldn't exactly
you
hold up in
hit
court.
him back.
would it?
Yeah, that would not hold up in court. Exactly. You can't say a man can't easily say it's defense against a woman who's trying to kill. I mean, I've seen men get slashed in the face and nothing happened.
I'll put anyone with a reason.
Holy fuck.
Oh, David.
It's true.
Right, buddy.
Fist of justice sees no gender.
You're not fucking Batman.
No matter what the gender of the assailant, if somebody hits you, you have the right to hit them back.
100%. And if they hit you, I'm hitting them with double the strength.
I mean, well, that's you, buddy.
Pringle, what do you have to say, my guy? You've been really quiet.
I mean, it's society right now just doesn't see it that way, Macy or David. Like, you can't just, if a woman hits you, you're not going to hit him back with double strength. Like, let's be honest, David. I know you're not going to do that.
Do what?
I hope you won't do
That's
that.
what's gonna stand up in court. That's what's gonna fucking stand up in court. Holy shit.
If a woman hits you, you are not going to just deck her shit
I mean, it depends on how hard she is.
square in the face.
Depends on how hard she is.
I mean, it's not fucking Ronda Rousey giving you a fucking left hook, David.
No, like if a girl's actually like, for example, if it, remember, I'm not gonna name names, but
No, give names. We need specific examples, my guy.
Do we?
We do.
We need to.
We need to. We need to.
if I bring this up.
They're probably already gonna see it, dude. They already know who they are.
Well, anyway, when the whole thing happened between our two friends,
Okay.
and Lexi was gonna hit me, I would hit her back.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, because Darren told me when I was gonna enter through the door, she was gonna punch me. If she punched me, I would have hit her back.
I mean, I don't see that ending well, you know.
Her, yeah.
Just saying. Oh, that's crazy.
Don't get fucked. All right. Well,
You stopped it.
now we have literal evidence of Dave saying he hit a woman. Remember that video he said? I don't know how that trend started, but no, it's not how it started. It's that it already was starting. My God.
It's literally just me saying something.
Yeah, you literally saying that you'd hit a woman.
I would, if she deserved it.
Okay.
So if she just hits you, you're gonna just deck her, right? Like, I don't know. You guys are like having an argument, and let's say she just slaps you. Okay, you and your girlfriend.
Oh, obviously not. Like, if she's actually mad, like if she's going to fight me, I'm going to hit her back. But if she's just slapping me for something I did wrong, then I would understand. Like, if I don't know, if I fucking broke her dad or her grandfather's ash vase or something, like I dropped it on the floor and she slapped me, I wouldn't hit her back because it's my fault. But I'm saying if she
Not
hits
really.
me, like if she's gonna fight, like she hates me, like if it's not my girlfriend, if it's some girl that like, for example,
Let's say it's just a friend then.
If it's
But they was Macy.
Hi.
okay, but it has to be a situation because I wouldn't hit Macy just to hit her. If she,
I don't know, dude. I've seen these worse.
who,
We won't say that on camera. It's okay.
not sure. Go ahead because I don't know who you're talking about.
No, it's okay.
No, go ahead. All right, so you have no evidence. All right. Anyway,
He's a part of our military. You can't speak to him that way.
oh no, I can't. Don't worry. I can.
He's defending.
Oh no, you should see what he calls me off camera, dude.
He's defending the papers on his desk anyway.
The
There we
papers
go,
on his
there we go.
desk.
I don't think I would hit Macy because like she's a good friend, and it would take a lot for her to hit me. And if she hit me, I'd probably deserve.
I don't think it'd take that much for Macy to hit you. I definitely wouldn't take me that much for me.
I could agree with that.
As I'm saying,
I literally use you just to hit you sometimes.
I'm gonna hit you back. And if you were a girl and you hit me, I would strike you like a stranger.
I just want to say this, right? Because obviously the way that David's talking about it, he's completely okay with hitting women. I guess not to sound old, in my day when I was still a kid, I guess things like that wasn't really talked about. You know, my mom mostly taught me be a gentleman when it comes to like open doors and shit like that. And I guess sort of the idea that hitting women seems so socially acceptable. And okay, it was socially acceptable back then, yes, but there was a curve when it wasn't, and now it's coming back. And now
I want to be equal.
Yeah, women want to be equal. Blacks and whites are definitely against each other. That's it. Women want to be equal rights, equal fights. Yeah, that's what's getting spread around now. It's sort of like, it's hard to believe that. And now with the whole blacks against whites because of Black Lives Matter, things are getting segregated again. It just seems really, I don't know. It's more so feeling like a spectator. Even if you try to do something, you're still spectating what's happening because everything seems like it's out of your control.
It's just so tiresome.
What do you mean things are getting segregated again?
Like for example, on Netflix, they have a thing where it's dedicated to just black, I think, documentaries.
African American documentaries, probably.
African American history, I think.
I don't know. It's one of them, right? But they never used to have stuff like that. And
on Google Maps, if you look to the left when you open up Google Maps, there's like a diversity corner, and it has like
No shit.
oh, and there was
and Native American owned restaurants,
Hold up.
veteran owned
On
restaurants.
my left. Guess worse.
oh, and what's it called?
I opened up the app and I don't see anything on my left.
There was also a story that came out in Mississippi, like a restaurant actually opened that said for like blacks only.
In Mississippi, the racism is much larger.
Oh, 100%, of course. I'm glad that I haven't really actually no, that's a lie. I've seen it.
The Mississippi thing was probably a joke, but what's it called?
No, they're racist down here, dude.
They're racist down there than they are in Florida.
Then I guess it's true.
You know how many black people and minorities are in Florida for them to be racist? Maybe like up north more, but like no, you can't be racist.
But
especially
what's it
in South
called?
Florida.
There's definitely a lot going on. It just feels like we're reversing everything that everybody before us has kind of fought for. And I guess that's kind of just what I'm believing, sort of. It's, you know, you can't really have a conversation with anybody who has a differing opinion than you. If you do, then all of a sudden you guys aren't friends anymore. And
True.
With everything going on, it feels really weird. Like no one can be friends ever again.
True. Amen.
I see it at least.
Yeah, that's exactly how you see it, David. What do you have to say, Pringle?
I don't really have a comment at this time.
You plead the fifth?
I plead the fifth.
Pussy.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right, now, obviously, coming up with what's the problem, what do you think a solution can be? Because I did mention that I think one of our topics should be trust. And I know it's hard for people to say that nowadays. It's like, oh, I trust someone else other than me who has a differing opinion. But I know me and David, I know for a fact me and you probably don't share the exact same ideals. But if it did come down to like life or death situation, I think I'd somewhat trust you. Maybe not with my life, but like a dog. I trust you like a dog. I mean, I trust you definitely, Pringle. I trust you. Your brother.
Eddie,
There we go.
Yeah?
can we pause really quick?
Why would happen?
I need help.
Okay. I guess we could take a short intermission while I go see and help someone.
Yeah, I gotta go change my laundry.
All right, we'll just take an intermission right here then.
Off the record. So that it's not like all of those TikTok girls, like you were saying, that are like underage and doing like the dance thing that you were telling me about, where they're like little waist, pretty face, something. I don't know the word.
With the big bang.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Yeah, it's their responsibility too to not be so provocative, but as a viewer, like, you can't stop yourself from thinking things, but how are they gonna, like, as long as you don't, like, say something, you know, you can just hold your tongue and just, like, think it in your brain and then just have that be the end of it, like, period, stop, like.
But I mean, it's become such a norm now that it's like some people don't want I guess society to like turn into like everyone I guess just being okay with like girls being, what's the word you use, provocative, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, you know, people want to be heard, and hopefully, you know, we can turn it into something where it doesn't like divide all of us.
I mean, but here's the thing, right? Is that I don't really know what to say or how to like form the sentence that I'm trying to think of. But basic human, I guess we'll just say biology, right? Basic human biology, we're attracted to the opposite gender, and things like boobs and girls' spots on their asses are usually what. It's not even just men that get turned on either anymore. Like women get turned on by that stuff too now, you know, especially lesbians. So
it's not new.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's new. I'm not saying it is, right? I said I guess I can't say now recently women. You know, it's not that recent.
Women are just more forward about it now because it's more acceptable.
Well, yeah, but you have to remember, it's usually like out of most of the comments, you'll get that one creep, yes, but most of the comments will usually be of women, either supporting her,
like,
or saying, well, yeah, there's either support or it's just completely, it's unrealistic. Like it's usually women who bring down women more than there are guys, and you can't tell a man to not think suggestive thoughts when he's provoked by things like a bra.
No, what I was like saying before, I was just being like a fuckhead. Obviously, whoever is like looking upon that kind of provocative stuff, it's not within your control, like what you think about it, but you know.
Well, what's in your control is how you react to it.
How you react, and if you, for example, know that person's a minor, then just scroll past it, bro. Like,
well, that's what I like to believe the average TikToker does, is when typically you don't know at first until you decide to, you know, scroll the bio to see if you can simp, because that's what the word's being used now. Typically, some of them though, and I'm not gonna say that it's not practical to say that some women will lie about their age on TikTok. It's just set someone up. I mean,
By the way, you should be careful because remember how Twitch TOS, you can't say simp and
you're streaming.
Other word. No. Like I'm saying for YouTube, I don't know what YouTube's TOS is like. So.
Oh, David, I don't care.
Okay.
Like you've already uploaded videos of like fuck the N-word. Like literally, like who cares?
No, I didn't.
But anywho, fuck, you had me go off track now. I have no idea what I'm saying.
I don't either. I'm not in like the right mood for this kind of discussion. I feel so like fucking.
See, Pringle, I told you. What do you mean? I sent you a TikTok. Remember when you asked me how much it would take for a girl to peg me? And I told you like, oh, there are these people on TikTok saying like, oh, she'll buy me a 3070, she'll buy me a PS5, then I'll let her.
Oh yeah, if she pegs you, I saw that too.
Yeah, that's been. I mean.
Oh wait,
like,
that's something else.
A little bit
David, that's something else you can attest to, since you know you're just a man, is the fact that if men don't allow themselves to get pegged by women, they're pussies.
Oh no.
Oh, that is that is 100% like just not.
Yeah, right. You not believe how many women.
You believe that?
No, fuck no.
Okay, so 4 of us are against that.
I know. I'm not gonna say names, but someone in our friend group, Macy, I know I've heard them say that they wouldn't mind before, and I don't know if he's being, what's it called, forced to say that or not. But
you can't be forced to really say anything.
I don't know about that, but. Yeah, it's probably about names. Oh god.
I pointed out my names because I'm not scared. You shouldn't be scared either.
I'm alright, bud.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just think in general, anything that involves, you know, intimacy and that level of trust, there should be no shame whether or not you want to do something or not.
Well, first that's what you talked over.
That's something else that you can. What's it called?
There should be no shame.
Another aspect of trust could be transparency as well. I think privacy should be kept private for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think when it gets revealed to other people, I don't know, in my head it doesn't make me want to vomit, but it's sort of, why would you post that kind of thing? And then typically usually what happens after privacy like that's like spread or posted is typically backlash will come from it.
Because I don't really judge people based on what they post, even though I do. I just don't do it out loud.
Even though I do, I just.
Well, that's fair. It's fair to say that everyone judges.
I don't.
Everybody makes judgments in their head.
Or like choices and like basically what they're into. Well, there was that one friend that Edward and I knew, and I think Pringle knew as well.
One
Who
friend.
she was into DDLG, but into a hardcore way. She wore diapers and stuff.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah, that I could just completely disgusted. Like, how could you be into that?
So you judged her like
You
100%, and then you
don't think I
literally
mean,
I even told her, yeah.
you
I
judged
get-
her like you were a fucking abomination. Is what you said.
Well, no, he didn't say that. I honestly, I wasn't gonna bring that kind of because I completely forgot about it. But yeah, something like that just it disgusts me. It's sort of the idea that messes around with. I don't know how someone like that.
Actually, because whoever's like doing it with her is basically want to do it with the child.
Yeah, that's typically usually what it's that association with the diaper that makes people turn on. Because then,
kids toys and everything.
because here's the thing, right? When they have a child and that man sees a diaper and that woman, right? They get conditioned immediately that they think it's something sexual. And I don't know, that doesn't
Gross.
that doesn't appear. That kind of severed literally every time.
If any of you if any of you viewers think that we're saying or that like we think it's otherwise, that you think it's right, you can have me.
Fuck you, idiot. No, listen. If any viewer, that ever watches me believes anything, I'm not here to tell them how to live their life, right? I'm not gonna say I shame them, but I'm just gonna say it's not for me. Like honestly,
Shame him.
That's all you really gonna do.
But however, though, if it's like, yeah, no, I'm shaming you. Sorry.
If it crosses a line, yeah.
If it crosses a line, I'm shaming you, and I'm being completely transparent. That's all I can be, right? It's transparent. Unlike David.
I don't care about the age gap. Like if you're like 18-year-old with money, first, it's a shitty thing to do, but it's not bad because it's been accepted throughout the years. But something that will never be accepted. And if it is accepted, then I don't want it.
Wait, what's it called? Maps? Is it called maps?
What is?
Something like accepting. Like they sort of want it to become part of the LGBTQ. I don't know if it was called maps or not.
Oh.
Yeah, it was something accepting or shit like that. I don't remember.
Chick-fil-A is against
Obviously,
LGBT.
I think minors.
Scott's chicken.
Minors.
Chick-fil-A is up against. Okay, then I'm going with Chick-fil-A.
Minor accepting people.
David said I can get behind Chick-fil-A's mission. Holy fuck.
If LGBTQ in both.
they did not.
Oh, okay, yeah. MAP stands for minor attracted person. I know David is a MAP.
Are you okay?
I don't know. When I think about it, it's like I think back to like in like anime, you know, lollies are like a major thing.
Don't forget Shotas. Shotas.
That's a drawing.
especially. Well, yeah, but there are a lot of people that won't draw that kind of stuff.
Draw that distinction. See what I did there?
Yeah, but don't act it on like reality. Keep it.
No, but
Keep it in your face.
okay,
Cosplayers.
quiet. If there are people that like cosplay, and that's like a big turn on for some people, and you know, people will cosplay like lolly characters. So if there is a distinction between liking people dressed like a lolly and liking literal children, because there is, liking lollies and cosplaying as lollies is like a really, really common thing, and that's not looked down upon at all. Then what draws that difference between liking actual children and liking people who dress up in a diaper and act like a baby? Obviously, I'm still not for it. That's like not my jam at all. I mean, disgusts me too, but you know, if somebody wants to be into that, you know,
Because
And that's 100% their
I'll
business.
just look the other way.
There's a difference because one of them is wearing a diaper and is actually a toddler. The other one is cosplaying as a girl.
Okay, she's
I mean, she's a
cosplaying
minor.
as a toddler.
And it's still bad. I don't accept it. It's weird. But one's a toddler in diapers and the other one is
Okay.
a girl. Like a
No. Rephrase. She is pretending to be a diaper, wearing toddlers, as opposed to.
No. She doesn't want to. No, she doesn't. Okay, from literal experience, it's not the fact that it makes her a toddler. She likes the feeling of the diaper, and it's that association, knowing that a diaper belongs to a toddler, is what makes it disgusting.
Okay, knowing that like being short or having a flat chest or being underdeveloped,
Wait, but that's
that's
impossible
what's
to
turn
change.
on for some people too.
I mean, that's just something you can't control.
Well, yeah, that's something you can't control. Some older women
the other
are
thing.
flat
If
chest.
you like a 5-year-old that's underdeveloped with a short child, that's a short person. Are you going to be sexually turned on?
Oh, no, but there are some like prepubescent 20-year-olds like
I was
women.
going to say about the beginning of what we were talking about the whole like gender war and everything. When a girl is made fun of because of her weight, and they make fun of guys because of their height and their dick size, that pisses me off because
Yeah,
guys can't
that's
control
literally
that shit, but girls can, and it pisses me off. Girls think that like, and it happened in school too, and I remember that because when I saw the TikTok, I'm like, wait, that happened before. Like, how can I just don't understand how like some people are just not there in the head. What do you?
Some people are literally just dicks, and that's unfortunately a lot of people.
Some people are just flawed, failed abortions, but whatever.
Remember that post I sent you, David? It was a sad day when you cried at the abortion bucket.
Yeah.
Yikes. I mean,
Anyway, how long have we been rolling for?
I don't know. I'm not gonna check it, but
I feel like we have not gotten anything like a value out of it.
Oh, we have.
we definitely have. I know where everyone stands now, and obviously, goodbye, David. Goodbye, Pringle. Goodbye, Macy.
Get some hate mail.
Gonna have to drop
I'll
some phone.
return it right back.
Yeah, just find out where they live. Is there anything that you want to add, Pringle?
I would like to touch upon similarly. I can't remember.
Oh, right before I completely forgot, David. Just to state what you said, there was a video of a woman who said she was gonna, what's it called? Not disprove, but sort of show real claim that if a woman can get pleasured with fingers, which is about like what, 2 to 3 inches, maybe 4, right? Mm-hmm. Especially from like a woman, especially from like a woman, that they're definitely able to get pleasured from just an average dick.
Oh yeah, there was a TikTok that came out where the guy was like celebrating it and everything. I remember seeing that.
But there are cases, what's it called, when dysfunctions happen for like a female, when they usually use like a vibrator, like really intense, they'll fuck around with the clitoris or their stimulate and just completely, I don't know, they just won't feel anything. So there's that too.
There was another video where I saw where like the boyfriend was confronting his girlfriend as a joke because some girl said like girls when they finger themselves they can't feel it, so they ask guys to do it.
You've seen enough porn to know that women can pleasure themselves just masturbating.
They can fake it too.
They can fake it not when they squirt, David. Not when they literally fucking squirt on the screen, unless they're taking a piss, right? It's like that kind of question is sort of don't be ignorant. Like we both know you've seen porn. We both know that you know what women can do by themselves.
Dave?
It's such an awkward ass question. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Lucky.
What did that have to do with sort of?
I mean, but we're all adults here, so.
Yeah, but what did that have to do with the topic of discussion?
I thought it was trust. Where the fuck did this come from?
Yeah, it was trust and double standards. Where the fuck?
The gender war.
But dude, that's not a gender war. That has nothing to do with gender issues.
So I saw this TikTok the other day, right? So.
I mean, maybe if you said that women are making claims that men can't pleasure women simply based off whatever other thing that you wanted to add. Maybe you can stem off of that, but not the literal issue of women not being able to masturbate by themselves. That's what it just seems. That's what it just seems like. Maybe you just hate women.
But when you edit this, you'll find out because
I mean, it's not getting edited, David. It's a podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was to say, can you just edit that whole thing out?
Yeah, no.
Say what?
Pringle, say it.
Say what?
He knows. Anyway.
The thing that you're dying to say.
I'm not dying to say anything, buddy.
Anyways, Pringle, is there anything that you want to mention?
Oh, don't do that, David. Don't do that. Don't pull the African American card.
They see you saying this, David, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
Glizzy, man. Glizzy's gonna be like,
What am I being racist? I'm encouraging my African American to be African American.
You're encouraging African American.
Derogatory word. Okay.
Not for you, right? Oh,
There we go.
all right.
I still would like to speak on something else.
Go ahead.
What you got?
So I know we've all seen Grand Army.
I haven't finished.
Word.
We actually
we haven't finished it, but I mean, from what we have seen all together as a group,
Yeah.
nobody freaking continued.
Oh, that's something else that just reminded me of something else we need to talk about.
You piece of shit.
All right, fake.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't say anything about that show then.
No. Say, because there's something in that show that I want to bring up as well.
What part? The suicide bomber.
Yeah.
That's what I want to bring up. So this is back to trust and double standards. XD woo.
Okay.
Why?
Like yeah.
Just get on with it, Jesus.
Okay, jeez. Now lighten the mood.
That didn't lighten the mood at all. You just said I have to talk about ooh. That really lightened the mood, didn't it?
Okay.
You don't care about societal issues. You don't care about.
All right, go ahead.
So
I'll go over it.
I would just like to bring up the moral conundrum and get everybody's input on when a person presenting as female gets like mad fucked up and is acting provocatively.
All right, stop using big words. Just get to the point. Come on.
David doesn't understand it.
David, come on.
Conceited.
Like, it's like
Okay, no, it's when a girl gets fucked. Like if she gets fucked up and she gets fucked, it's her fault.
And especially when it comes to
that.
trust, if she's with people that she trusts, is that still like?
okay. I have experience on this.
Oh shit!
Oh, okay. Did you get? We need to talk. We need to talk, David.
Back in Virginia,
You can trust
I had
me.
a friend called. and her friend got.
Damn, he's name dropping every fucking buddy.
Because I'm not scared. She went on a Tinder date and she was drunk with a Tinder date at his house, and she got. I'm not saying it's her fault, but I'm saying that
It's her fault.
it's not her fault, but it's her fault. She shouldn't have gotten drunk with a guy she just met.
Okay.
It isn't her fault that she got.
Okay, but then bring in that factor of trust. If you're with a group of friends that you're really comfortable with and you trust them, and so you get fucked up, and then they you, is that your fault?
Well, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, because everyone usually just turns to is it. But you have to remember in the show that they trust, like even around trust, they know the type of person she is. They made the claim that the reason she did it was because she literally had a fucking dildo in her mouth. Literally had a dildo pressing up against every one of them, and the entire time that it did happen, like yes, they couldn't hear her because she was whispering, and the audience heard her. But at the same time, how are they gonna know? It's not okay.
They definitely know.
Well, I mean, they said that they knew what they did. I'm pretty sure he knew that he stuck his finger, like, inside of her, but...
She was also a bitch to George or whatever his name was.
George? No, but that has nothing to do with it. Tim. His name was Tim.
Like,
What are you just saying if it has nothing to do with
guy, he didn't do anything, which makes him, like...
I mean,
He was
he's
a
not an
bystander.
accomplice. Yeah, he was just a bystander.
He didn't stop it.
But he's not an accomplice.
If he was an accomplice...
Someone's murdered in front of you, you don't try to stop it. You
But she wasn't murdered, my guy.
I'm relating it. It's the same thing with rape. If you see
I
somebody
understand what you mean, David. Yes, if it were brought into a court of law, he would be considered an accomplice.
which I think it is, but we stopped before we could see it. I know that the charges weren't pressed because they didn't have enough damage.
Yeah. But just, like...
No, it's not that they didn't have enough evidence. It's the fact that they had her on
Okay,
recording.
guys.
We're not going to talk about the show. We're not going to talk about the show.
What else am I going to talk about?
Well, no. It's not spoiling it. They saw him when she got recorded of her sticking a dildo everywhere. No. You guys were literally there when she got. And George
I'm
would.
not talking to them. I'm talking about in general. We're recording
No.
public, and we're just literally talking about it.
Oh no. Here's the thing. In context, like context is what usually matters, right? Because there's sort of that whole claim that I told you before of women who had sex, like they gave consent the night before and regretted it the day after. They claimed it. That's not fucking.
No, that's literally not
Exactly, but that's how some people would justify, which is why
stupid.
Which is why context matters.
I wasn't fully listening. What'd you say? That Macy's agreeing with you?
I said, that context matters in the sense of if a woman decides to have sex, give consent like the night before, and the day after she regrets it, she claims it's yeah, but they would still claim it. That's why.
And they're done.
That's why context context justifies it. But nothing happens. Nothing happens if it comes out as false.
Well, I think we're all, I don't know, I can't speak for you, but I'm definitely on team. If you falsely accuse somebody, you should be punished as well.
You should be jailed.
I'm sure the same action.
You should literally serve as much time as they did. Yes, I agree.
Anything the person accused is getting, you should get that.
No, it drops down to the whole point of do you believe the victim as soon as they come out? Because then if you do that, what happens to innocent until proven guilty?
I mean, I think you have to because it's socially accepted to believe, but I don't believe anyone until I have the facts.
Socially accepted.
I think there's a difference between believing somebody and supporting them.
Yes, I do
yes,
too.
yeah,
Listen, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't believe a woman, but if she said that she got, I think I'd offer her, I guess, more support because there's realistically, what can I do if she doesn't come out herself? There's nothing I can literally do about it.
You can't force her to.
I'm definitely not gonna force her. You know, that's why someone made a whole meme about what's it called? That women would literally tell everybody that she got before the police. And someone said, well, what are the police going to do? And he said, what the fuck is your Snapchat story going to do? So it's sort of like, I don't know. I don't even know if that's a double standard. And I definitely don't know if that's trust, but it's sort of, I guess to me, it just seems more annoying than anything. It's irritating. And it seems like an issue that matters to a lot of people, but I don't really know if anything is really getting done about it.
Can we go back then to the thing that I said that was actually about trust, and I asked everyone and you didn't answer?
You're going to have to repeat it, but
if somebody, specifically female presenting, because this is also about the gender standard, is with people that she trusts and she gets fucked up because she trusts them and something happens, like, where does the blame fall?
Oh, and I answered that. I said it was debatable.
yes, David said if she got drunk, if she got drunk the night before.
I mean, if she got drunk and then she was like showing signs, like let's think Grand Army when she was like, you know, literally kissing.
Yeah, but okay, in the sense that we have context to Grand Army in any other story, though, I guess.
I'm gonna make a situation because let's relate it to Grand Army. Let's say Macy's the fucking girl, and then we're the guys, and you guys weren't dating.
Okay, don't use that example already. Don't even use it.
Yeah.
Because then even if it wasn't about Macy, you're gonna make the accusation that one of us is a fucking
Okay, so let's say
you fucking idiot.
and
You
one girl.
fucking idiot.
Let's say that they're friends like us, for example. Because I believe Macy trusts us. Like, if you were her, she would tell us, or something like that. Like, she would like call us for something. And
Yeah.
we would help her. So let's say that friend group, she trusts those 3 guys, of course. So it's not her fault. It's not ignorance because she trusted them and they were a really good friend. It's just that the guys made shitty decisions.
But is it also her fault for making shitty decisions to be so provocative?
Well, okay, how this is right. It comes down because, go on, David, before I say something.
Because it's a really good question. You can't say that it's her fault, even though part of the blame is hers. Because
So it's her fault.
No, I'm not saying it's completely her fault.
No,
Her
the
fault
act,
she was.
the act of it happening isn't. But what came to be?
Of course, she was like using the dildo, and she was trying to get Tim's attention by like being on top of those 2 guys.
Yeah.
So,
But she never fully committed, which is what made me
So
annoyed.
there's definitely fault
and
in
the
her
girls,
side,
yes,
yeah.
yes. But the ultimate part of that was not her fault because she took it too far. Sure, she was provocative. She was doing all this stuff to influence the guys, but the guys took it too far, even though they should have stopped because they were under the influence.
Here's the
And,
thing.
okay, if they weren't somebody that she knew and it was just like
Oh, that's 100% her fault.
clearly, that's not 100% her fault.
Okay,
I mean, if it's someone she doesn't know and she's doing all that stuff, that's like
Okay, take it to a lesser level though. Imagine you are at a bar with your friends and you see a woman who's not like waving a dildo around or anything, but she's like very clearly fucked up. And she's like, for example, she's kind of like draping herself onto a man, but she's clearly like out of her mind, right?
Are you using the fucking example from Promising Young Woman? You fucking idiot. That movie, by the way, fucking sucks.
Were to like clearly she can't give consent.
it's the guy's fault.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Everyone is always under this because Macy, at the same fact of the fact that you told me not to cherry pick, but yet you're creating a scenario that perfectly describes what you want to say. Here's the thing. Literally, in that movie, the entire world of men, just the entire gender, is literally there's no good in any man in that movie, and no, like the only person that ever was good to her happens to be a previous. So at the same time, it's sort of the situation there's always something, right? If it's with people you trust and you decide to get drunk, that's your fault that you decided. I'm not going to say going to have fun. You can have fun without getting drunk. Like you can have fun without getting blasted out your fucking mind. And if
It's a safe place though.
well, but here's the thing. No one's ever in a safe place. As soon as you step out of your house, the only safe place you have. Okay, but what are the odds you're gonna have a fucking party in your house at that age? You're so young.
What if you just have all of your friends over and you guys are just like
If you,
having a good time?
here's the thing though.
Here's an example because even when I was younger, I had parties all the time.
No, get fucked.
I would bring over my friend groups and everything, and we'd have parties. So like, let's say if I was a girl, and I brought all my friends to my house when did I start high school? When I was 16, 17?
Oh my God, you started
God.
at 17?
Saying.
Jesus.
I started at 14.
God
You
damn.
No, you didn't. That was middle school. That was middle school. Calm down. 17 was junior, senior year. So 18 is when we graduated. So 4 years.
David, no, not.
15, 16, really?
I graduated college and I'm 19 still. Which means I graduated high school when I was 8. No, you fucking idiot. I'm saying I was 14 as well, my guy.
So then I
It was
guess
like 14, 15.
we went in the same grade. So I guess 14.
This
I
nigga
was
needed.
15 'cause
Oh my god.
I'm 1 year older than you guys. So I think I was 15 when I started high school. So at 15, 16, if I brought a party to my house and I was a girl and I got intoxicated in my own safe place and they did that to me, would it be my fault?
Well, there's a double standard to that though. Men cannot be seen as getting ever. Obviously, to you, David, would be pleasure.
Debatable.
No, but that's how it's viewed.
Yeah.
That's how it's viewed by society.
We're
And
in his safe place and he brought home his female friends and they all got fucked up and they made a move on him, but he was not interested. Is that
no, but here's the
right?
thing.
It is.
Okay, that is yes, I agree. That's definitely in context to Grand Army. You have to remember that it's a show, and most cases that I've seen that typically tend to happen at parties that are away from any friend group. Like I guess in my head, I've never heard of anybody, not even in my head, but in news, I've never heard of friends,
Maybe
other
because
group
it's not
friends.
put in the news. Who reports that?
Well, but see, that's why they should report it. Like, okay, it's the thing of how can you want justice and get someone to blame? And I guess yes, the system. People would say the system is turned against you, and I guess technically in that point of view, you'd become a statistic. But it's still literally better than doing anything else, like doing nothing.
For majority of people that especially with people that they trusted, that they go through that kind of trauma. They, first of all, feel like they can't report to anybody because, you know, it's people that they trusted.
Well, it's not just that. It's also reputation of the person, especially.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say. It's like they were friends. So like I don't know how to like describe it without going into like an intense.
I mean, okay, if we were going into the literal context of people that you trusted and you went and got fucked up with them and you trusted that they'd keep you safe, then I guess you kind of, then everyone's kind of, I can definitely say everyone's kind of at fault in my opinion. I'm not going to
factor to this.
I'm not going to say that the women is more to blame, but
What's
I guess
factor, David?
Because we're talking about trust. What's more trusting than family? What about the women that's been with them, their uncles and their fathers?
Yeah, or brothers, sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen so many like things in the news or on social media that are about, you know, younger brothers that are sexually or, you know, had intimacy with older sisters without consent.
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah,
Or by older brothers.
in that
you know?
in that situation, that scenario, it's completely not their fault. Like anything that's not in a controlled environment is not the victim's fault. You can control if you decide to go to a party and get blasted. You can control that. To say that you can't is completely stupid. But if you get fucking because of it, that's not your fault. So yeah, I agree with David in the sense that they're partially to blame. The victim is partially to blame. If they decide, even if you decide to go have fun, you can have fun literally doing anything. Like they chose to specifically go have fun in the sense of partying. Yeah, no one should have to fear going to a party, you know, just for the fun of it, and fear that the outcome is going to become. No one should ever have to like go through that.
You essentially like basically saying that the presence of drugs and those kinds of things is escalating culture?
Yes.
I think everybody says that, but I don't think anybody, like how they say that men should be taught not to rape. No one's fucking taught to rape.
Yeah.
No one's fucking taught to rape no one.
mean, there's like the if they're not taught to respect women, they're more likely.
Yeah, but that goes into the whole, if one is willing to beat a woman, what else are they willing to do?
That's true.
Which we're all looking at David right now.
Okay.
Which is, and I guess it's sort of, if you want to include gender in this, notice how we're always talking about women. The only time we mentioned like little boys was like 50 minutes into after the fact.
Well, I was trying to say, you know, reverse the situation. If it's a man,
Well, yeah, but
got all of his
that's-
female friend.
That's like the societal issue, is that situations like that don't happen. They're physically or literally seen as invisible.
Can't happen. There are still.
Well, yeah, no. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm saying seen in the eyes of others, it's not a thing. Seeing in society's eyes is not a thing.
It's highly more unlikely because let's say me or Pringle, if we like, there's no way a woman could do that to us unless we got.
We're literally just like straight up letting them, or we're like blaze out of.
Well, here's the thing, right? Is that you may say it seems highly unlikely, but how do you know that the cases that are actually reported from men, they're not because if they're seen already as just being pleasurable, they're not going to be reported as cases. There's a statistic, yes, but it's who believes them. And I guess that could be said for women. They definitely believe women more, though, in cases. Hence why a lot of like football players and college kids usually go to jail. And you know, when they find out that it's fake, nothing really happens. Well, I guess that's not true. One kid decided that after the whole, I think he was like a college football player, a black kid. He decided to record the lady or his ex-girlfriend who claimed. Then he found out, he actually got her to confess. I guess even though the evidence wasn't used, considering she didn't have any knowledge of herself being recorded. What's it called? She confessed to it, and all the money that she had gotten from the case, she had lost all of it. So I guess to some degree, there can be cases where they do get justice, but those seem like very, very scarce times when that happens. I mean, what accuser would ever be willing to step in a room with the person they abused? That just seems so highly unlikely to me.
People who refuse to, accept.
Well, I guess people who are
accept, but like
people who are lying.
Yeah.
And people that lie about it piss me off even more.
Yeah.
But yeah, but how? I guess so. Then, in the case of innocent until proven guilty, do you believe that?
I don't believe anyone's out with the facts. As Macy said, believing.
So innocent until proven guilty, then.
Yeah, literally, you'd support them. Like, you'd support the victim, but innocent until proven guilty for the accused.
Basically meaning I don't believe anything until I have all the facts.
I have an example that's not necessarily like exactly the same, but for example, at work a few weeks ago, somebody accused one of my other employees of making a racially biased comment. and he had a track record for that. So obviously, you know, I took it really seriously. And instead of like just being like, how could you do this? You know, I went up to him and I was like, hey dude, you know, somebody, like, I heard through the grapevine that this happened. I want to know your take on it. And, you know, if the two things are, obviously I said, you know, even if you didn't do it, this is still not acceptable, just so you know. But if it were something more serious that were like, you know, an actual crime, I would have said, you know, if it's two different things, you know, I'm not going to take any disciplinary action against you. Maybe I'll suspend you, but I'll also suspend the person who said that to me until I have the facts.
Yeah, I feel like everything is really just situational, and you really can't make like a sound or final decision until you've gone through like all of the options.
Exactly.
But see, that's the thing though. In let's just say, just for an easy example, in the case of the show, they literally, once they find all the facts, the victim doesn't agree with them. Like, it's their fault that they weren't able to find it. And it's sort of like, if they don't believe them because of the facts, then who's going to believe them? I feel like I guess that can go into the whole, that's why women don't report it. But at the same time, they're okay to share it with friends who, I guess it's sort of that it's easier to believe the victim if they're your friends.
Right.
Kind of idea. And in my head, that doesn't really do anything for the victim, but that goes into the whole offers support for them. I guess that's pretty much all they need is support and just move on. That seems like such a fucked up solution though. But there's really, I mean, the way around the system doesn't.
If you can't actually take action against the perpetrator, then, you know, that's all you can do is just support them and help them move on.
Yeah.
And to find their own justice that doesn't obviously hinder like, don't go kill them or anything, but, you know, find your own and saying like, oh, well, I'm just gonna never see you again and I'll share my story and you'll share yours.
And that's the simple fact of it, I guess.
There's no concrete solution for anything that we're saying. That's why it's still an issue in the world, you know, like everything that we're talking about is so fluid that that's why there's so many disagreements and so many arguments, especially on the internet, because we have access to so much more and on social media, because there's no good answer to anything.
All right.
Well, if there's no good answer, why should we continue living? Anywho. What are you saying, David?
Anyone else have some final stuff to say before we wrap it up?
Is there anything you want to say, David? I mean, Pringle.
No, I mean, I really got my point across, I guess. Or tried to, like, you know, I think I said what I needed to say.
You said your piece.
Yeah.
I've said my piece. I've did my nickel.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you,
But you, David.
for your contributions.
Not right now. I'm just texting some of the fans of the show. But
Get fucked.
no, I put my point across too. I've said my experience in the matter. I've said my own thoughts. I've told people to at me if they don't like my thoughts. And no, I'm done.
All right. We're kind of leaving. We're leaving on a very sour note, but.
And in a disclaimer sense, you know, we are just for individuals. We don't represent anybody. Blah 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 blah. And if you disagree with us,
I mean,
tough shit.
like
At David, please.
thanks.
don't listen to it. If
Man,
you disagree, like
David's always somehow getting a sponsor on his channel. So fucking smooth.
I mean, people can just post like whatever they have to say in the comments, you know. They don't gotta
Yeah,
at
if you
David,
have
but we all
something to-
know.
if you have something to contribute, feel free. But if you're just gonna like fucking,
If you're just gonna bash our shit in,
just
yeah.
don't bother. Just don't let them.
Well, thank you very much, Pringle, for joining us. I guess we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Adios.
Bye, have a beautiful time.